Welcome to the Science of Mind podcast. I'm your host, Amara Ayat, and today we're exploring a topic that holds immense power: habits. Habits are the small daily actions we take that ultimately shape the course of our lives. They determine our health, success, and happiness. But let's be honest, habits aren't easy to form or break. Many of us struggle to stick to new routines or shake off bad ones. That's why in this episode, we'll dive deep into the science of habits. We'll explore how habits are formed, how they can be reprogrammed, and how small, consistent actions can lead to extraordinary transformations. Let's get started. Habits make up almost half of what we do every day. They influence how we spend our mornings, how productive we are at work, and even how we interact with others. But what are habits really, and why do they matter so much? Habits are automatic behaviors triggered by specific cues. They're your brain's way of conserving energy. Instead of thinking through every action, habits allow you to operate on autopilot. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't consciously think about each step. It's automatic. That's the power of habits. They remove decision-making effort for routine tasks, freeing up your brain for more complex thinking. But this automation can be a double-edged sword. While good habits can streamline your life, bad habits can derail your goals. Research shows that habits influence up to 45% of our daily actions. This means nearly half of what you do is habitual. Whether it's your morning coffee, your workout routine, or your tendency to procrastinate, your habits shape your outcomes. Imagine two people. Person A spends 10 minutes every day journaling and reflecting on their goals. Person B spends 10 minutes scrolling social media in the morning. Over a week, the difference might seem small. But over a year or 5 years, their paths will diverge dramatically. All habits follow the same loop cue, a trigger that starts the behavior. Routine, the behavior itself. Reward, the benefit you gain, which reinforces the habit. Let's say you have a habit of snacking while watching TV. The cue is turning on the TV. The routine is grabbing a bag of chips. The reward is the pleasure of snacking while relaxing. Once this loop is established, it becomes automatic. But here's the good news. You can rewire this loop to create healthier habits. Identify one habit you'd like to change. Write down the cue that triggers it, the routine or behavior you follow, the reward you experience. Now brainstorm one healthier behavior you could replace it with. Let's talk about the power of small changes. Often we think massive transformation requires massive effort, but the truth is, small, consistent actions lead to the greatest results. Imagine improving by just 1% every day. At first, the change might feel insignificant, but over time, these small improvements compound, leading to extraordinary results. By the end of a year, you'd be 37 times better than when you started. Big changes can feel overwhelming. That's why the key to lasting habits is starting small. For example, if you want to exercise, start with just one push-up a day. If you want to meditate, start with one deep breath. These micro habits might seem trivial, but they build momentum. Once the habit becomes automatic, you can gradually increase the intensity. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, shares the story of a man who started his fitness journey by driving to the gym, walking in for 5 minutes, and then leaving. Over time, those 5 minutes turned into full workouts. The secret? Focus on showing up, not the results. What's one habit you've struggled to start? How can you break it down into the smallest possible action? Write it down and commit to starting today. Creating positive habits isn't about willpower. It's about design. By structuring your environment and using proven strategies, you can build habits that last. Most people focus on what they want to achieve, but the secret to lasting habits is focusing on who you want to become. Instead of saying, I want to run a marathon, say, I am a runner. Instead of saying, I want to eat healthy, say, I am someone who prioritizes nourishing my body. This shift in perspective changes the way you approach your habits. Every action becomes a vote for the person you want to become. Write down a goal you have, then reframe it as an identity. For example, goal, I want to save money. Identity, I am someone who makes smart financial decisions. Now list one habit that aligns with this identity. Your environment plays a huge role in shaping your habits. If your surroundings make it easy to practice positive habits, you're more likely to succeed. Keep your workout clothes visible to remind yourself to exercise. Place a journal on your nightstand to encourage nightly reflection. Store healthy snacks at eye level in your pantry. Habit stacking involves linking a new habit to an existing one. This makes it easier to integrate the new habit into your routine. After current habit, I will new habit. For example, after brushing my teeth, I will write down 3 things I'm grateful for. After pouring my morning coffee, I will review my goals for the day. Building habits is a long-term process, and one of the best ways to stay consistent is by tracking your progress. A habit tracker is a visual tool that allows you to see how often you're sticking to your habit. This simple act of marking your success can be incredibly motivating. Consider someone who wants to exercise daily. They create a calendar where they mark a red X every day they complete their workout. Over time, the satisfaction of seeing the streak builds momentum, encouraging them to keep going. Create your own habit tracker. Write down the habit you want to build. Decide how you'll track it. This could be a journal, a calendar, or a habit tracking app. Set a goal for how many days you want to complete the habit. Start small, such as 3 days a week, and gradually increase. What does success look like for this habit? How will you celebrate reaching milestones? Celebrating your wins, no matter how small, reinforces your commitment to your habits. Rewards don't have to be extravagant, they just need to feel meaningful. After completing a week of meditation, treat yourself to a favorite coffee or tea. After finishing a month of journaling, spend time doing something you love, like a nature walk or a relaxing evening. What small rewards will motivate you to stay consistent with your habit? Breaking bad habits requires just as much strategy as building positive ones. Instead of focusing solely on eliminating the habit, you need to replace it with a healthier alternative. Every bad habit starts with a trigger, also known as a cue. For example, feeling stressed might cue you to overeat. Feeling bored might cue you to scroll social media endlessly. Take a moment to write down the last 3 times you engaged in a habit you want to change. What were you feeling or experiencing just before? This will help you identify the cue. Once you've identified the cue, focus on replacing the routine with a healthier behavior. The key is to choose a replacement that satisfies the same need as the original habit. If stress triggers you to snack on junk food, replace the routine with deep breathing exercises or sipping herbal tea. This provides a similar sense of relief without the negative consequences. To break a bad habit, increase the friction between the cue and the behavior. Make the habit less accessible or convenient. If you're trying to stop checking your phone at night, leave it in another room before bed. If you want to reduce sugary snacks, don't keep them in your home. Think of one bad habit you'd like to change. How can you make it less convenient or more difficult to follow through? Having someone to support you in breaking bad habits can make a huge difference. Share your goals with a trusted friend or join a community of like-minded people who share your commitment to change. A man who wanted to stop smoking joined a local support group. The shared accountability and encouragement helped him quit after years of struggling alone. Consistency is the bridge between starting a habit and turning it into a lifelong routine. But staying consistent requires more than motivation. It requires strategies to overcome challenges and maintain momentum. One of the biggest challenges to consistency is the fear of failure. Many people abandon their habits after missing a day or two, believing they failed. But the truth is, progress isn't linear. Imagine you're climbing a mountain. Sometimes you'll need to pause, take a break, or even step back. But as long as you keep moving forward, you're still making progress. The 2-day rule. Commit to never missing your habit for more than 2 consecutive days. If you miss one day, get back on track the next day. Setbacks are inevitable. Instead of viewing them as failures, treat them as learning opportunities. A woman wanted to build a habit of running but kept skipping her workouts when it rained. Instead of giving up, she decided to create an indoor workout plan for rainy days. This simple adjustment helped her stay consistent. Create a resilience plan. List potential obstacles to your habit. Write down solutions or alternatives for each obstacle. Commit to revisiting this plan whenever challenges arise. Habits are easier to stick with when they're tied to a deeper purpose. Why are you building this habit? What's the bigger picture? Write a short paragraph describing why this habit matters to you. Keep it somewhere visible as a daily reminder. Thank you for joining today's episode of the Science of Mind podcast. Remember, small, consistent actions lead to profound changes over time. Whether you're building new habits or breaking old ones, the journey is a process. Start with one small step today and watch how it transforms your life. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with others who may benefit. Together, we're building a community of growth, resilience, and empowerment. Until next time, take care, stay mindful, and keep embracing the journey.